Hey Flosstube, it's Kelly. It's been a while since I've been here. I've also tried to record this video a few times now, and I feel very tongue-tied and out of practice. So I am just gonna jump right in and start talking about stuff and skip all the pleasantries and life updates because, you know, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm still stitching, so let's get into it. I guess the first thing that I will just jump right into is any finishes that I've had within the last year. I haven't done a ton, moving, getting myself situated, etc., etc., etc. So I guess the first finish that I had in 2018, since I recorded last, was my Bastet and Anubis piece. This is from Etsy. A seller called Let's Make Crafts designed this one, and here it is finished. So this is stitched on crystal sand by Picture This Plus, probably a 28 count. I don't remember. I don't really keep track. The only alterations I made to this pattern, they just use standard DMC for everything, and I mixed one strand of Kryneck in with the gold that they called for just to make it a little bit sparkly. You can see it pretty well there in their ears. The earring, and then around their eyes as well. You guys know I'm bad at this camera thing, so bear with me. This is in like the cheapest frame from the dollar store. I just kind of wanted to iron it and get it up on my wall. So one day it will go in something cooler. But for now, it's there and it's done. So that was the first one that I did since we talked last. And then the next one is my Old Nantucket piece by Little House Needleworks. I'm sure everybody has seen this one. It was pretty popular way back when. So this one is finished and framed. It hangs on my wall as well. I'll just stand. I used all the called for colors and the called for linen. It's like a 32 count mocha or something like that. And I didn't really make any alterations, unless you want to call a tiny mistake an alteration, which I will. I can't even really remember what the error was, but it had something to do with these waves under the ship here. I think that like these little things were supposed to be a different color, and I did them all in like the off-white. It's like a tiny little mistake. I didn't even notice it until I was like halfway through. And I liked it better, so that's fine. I love this. This frame I got off of Amazon. I'm gonna have to look up the name of the seller, but it was super affordable. It's a pretty nice wood frame. You can pick a bunch of different like finishes that he has, and this one's kind of like all beat up looking. It was like the perfect match for this piece, and it like matches the color of this fence as well. It even came, I put brown paper on the back of it, but it even came with the hanging material. So I will find the name of that seller and put it somewhere here in the window. Super affordable frame if you're looking, and you could pick like custom dimensions, not like building a custom frame, but you know, you could go in and pick if you need 10 by 11, 10 by 12, etc., etc. So, one more time. Old Nantucket by Little House Needleworks. Finished. So Tuna's trapped in here with me because, like I said, the cats don't get along. So if he's annoying, I'm sorry. I tried to open the window so he would be distracted and maybe take a nap, but we'll see. He might just meow and meow and meow. Okay. After that, I didn't do a lot. until around Christmas time when I got the bug to stitch some seasonal pieces. None of which I have here because they're all in storage at the moment because it's not Christmas anymore. They were all just small ornaments, so I will insert pictures of them as I go here. These are also all on my Instagram page, which I use pretty heavily for any stitching stuff. So if I'm not posting videos, I'm still posting on there. So I'll put my Instagram name up as well. It's Fangirl Stitcher with a 5 for the S. So I'll just pull some pictures off of there so you don't have to jump around to different websites here. But the first one I finished was this one I found in a magazine. I'm pretty sure it was Cross Stitch Collection. I got it through my library's like digital magazine subscription. And I think it was Cross Stitch Collection. I don't have the download anymore, so I don't know the issue or anything like that. The magazine that I found it in, it was called the Kitschtastic Trio, but I can't find that online anywhere. I think it might be under a different name, like that wasn't released in the magazine, but I have the name of the designer, at least. It's designed by Lucie, Lucie Heaton, Heaton. And it's just 3 small designs, a deer, a bird, and what's the third one? A deer, a bird, and a rabbit. They're super cute. I changed the color of the snowflakes just from a more turquoisey color to more of a light blue wintry color because I wasn't feeling the turquoise. And I needed to find a ribbon that matched that color, so it was just easier for me to change it to more of a blue. So if I haven't already, here's a picture of that. And then I just finished them as circular ornaments to hang on my tree. I'm going to let Anubis in, because he's meowing. This is probably how this whole video is going to go, them going in and out, because I have to keep the door closed and they don't like it. What was I saying? Okay, so the second ornament that I did sometime around Christmas was Grumpy Kitty from Brooks Books. This is a freebie. Picture. I finished this one as a little pillow ornament for the tree. The only thing that I didn't do on this one was the red and white like candy cane stripe border because I thought it was busy enough with the ornament finish that I did. I also did, I've done this one before and I have no idea where I got the pattern. I did it for like a work gift exchange. It was like part of my Secret Santa gift years ago. And I just still had a picture of that, so I wanted one for myself. It's just a very simplistic moose pattern. It's like Scandinavian-ish. So I will put that up here. Also just finished that as sort of a small pillow and hanging on my tree. It was probably something I pulled off of Pinterest, like one of those weird free graph paper drawings. And then the last 2 that I did for Christmas were both from the same place. They're called the Mini Cat ornaments. So there is a blog out there called Happiness is Cross Stitching. I'm not sure the name of the actual designer, but she releases a fair amount of free patterns as well as paid for patterns, all featuring this small black cat. So I snagged a couple of the free Christmas ones and stitched those up. So here are 2 of the mini cat ornaments that I did 2018. And I used Vonna the Twisted Stitcher's tag ornament tutorial to finish those up. And those are all currently in a box in my basement. So can't show those. Also can't show the next one, which was my most recent finish because it's currently on my desk at work. So this one was the Siesta with the Kitty pattern by Soda Stitch. Put a picture of the finish. I took kind of a small video clip when I was at my desk at work so you could see the detail of it. And I did make some alterations to this one because I wanted to turn the 2 cats in that pattern into my 2 cats. So basically what I did, I found this app. I have an Android phone. It's called, what's it called? 8-bit something or other. 8-bit Painter. And it's basically just a graph box where you can choose different colors and then tap the box and it will fill that color. So I took the pre-existing black outline of the cats, put that in 8-bit Painter, and then just used their different color wheels to try and reconfigure the cats to match the colors of mine. Now, I am not a cross-stitch designer, and I do not know what I'm doing. So I just used whatever colors looked good in the program. And because Anubis is a black cat, so I had no idea how to do that, like, shading to actually make his features show up. So it seemed to work best to do it the opposite way than you think you should. So, like, if you have a gray cat, right? Gray is the primary color, and then it shades to black. It shades darker. But when black is the primary color, it seemed to work best if I shaded to a lighter color, like a lighter gray. So that's what I did. And it seemed to show up pretty well, so I guess that's good. And then I customized Tuna as well to look like Tuna. And the only way that I was able to do that successfully is that I bought one of these DMC thread color card books. These aren't that expensive. I think I got it for 25 bucks. I went on Amazon initially, and there were like sellers trying to sell them for like 60, 70 bucks, and I went straight to the DMC website, and it was 25. Shipping was like $6, but if I spent like $30 or more, I got free shipping, so I just threw in a pair of scissors, got free shipping, and then got the color card and the scissors. So, well, seemed like a good deal to me. But I'll just show you a quick peek. It's beautiful. Which way do I go? One thing I did notice. So, this page here has all the kind of specialty DMC. Oy, it's big. Let's see if I can get that page. Okay. This page here has all the kind of specialty DMC listed on it. And I notice that the satin flosses are not on here. Like, it's got the metallic and the variegated. But there's no satin ones on here, so I wonder if they were just too much of a pain to put in here, or if they decided not to make them anymore because they're not good, or if that's in a different booklet? I'm not sure. But this is awesome. So if you ever need, I mean, like I said, I'm not a designer. Like, this is just helpful to the average cross stitcher in case you want to make rudimentary changes to your book or to your pattern. And I have a full set of DMC, but I don't have a full set that's unused. Like, all of those bobbins are in project bags elsewhere, so it would be a complete nightmare for me to try and go through all of those boxes and try to find the color that I want, where I can just pick up this book and be like, oh look, here's every color that I could need. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of the conversion. I'll put a picture of the conversion up and of Tuna and Anubis so you can compare and make your own judgment there. But I'm pretty pleased with it. And I also need to give credit to, I don't know how you would pronounce her Instagram name. I will put it up here. She's the only other person I've ever seen stitching Siesta with the kitty, and she did a hair color conversion. This Soda Stitch pattern used a lot of neons for things. Like, if you look in like the part with the cookies, there's like bright yellow, like neon highlighter yellow in the cookies, and it was the same way with her hair. It worked for the way the pattern was designed. I just preferred it a little less intense, so it looked like my hair color mostly. So credit to you. I'll put your name up here. You know who you are. I already thanked you on Instagram. But yeah, so hair color was changed, and the colors of the kitties were changed, and I think that was it. Okay. So that was all my finishes. Like I said, it's been about a year since I've recorded a video, and I haven't done too much. I think I said this before. I think I'm a very slow stitcher. It's frustrating to me, but at the same time, I'm also very anal, so I want all my stitches to look good, and I feel like if I try and go faster, then I just make mistakes and start frustrating myself. So I just go at my own pace, and I think that's part of the reason why it's so hard for me to record videos, because I feel like I don't have like enough progress to show, and this is all just in my head. I know that you guys would probably watch, you know, whatever I threw up here, but it's fine. Without further ado, let's move on to my whips. I just have a big pile of stuff here, so similar to last video I did, I'm just going to pick up a bag and we're going to see what's in it. Because if I try and plan too much, I would just be sitting here and never actually hit record on this video. I've already showed you all my project bags, so I'm not going to go through this again. But in this project bag, this is the one that I just keep in my bag when I take it back and forth to work, so I can work on it like during my lunch break or whatever. And this is actually a new pattern that I started since we talked last, and I'm not very far on it. I started this on my birthday, which is January 12th. So, and like I said, I only kind of work on it when I get a lunch break that I can work on it. Here's the picture. So this is a Jardin Privé pattern. I took French, but I still can't pronounce things. It is called Cat Lovers. It's super cute. This is probably like as samplery as I get. And that's only because it's covered in cats. You cover anything with cats, I'm in. So, like I said, haven't gotten super far on this one, but I just started in the top middle, and I'm doing it on a blue even weave. I believe that this is called Mercedes, if I picture this plus. So I'm just doing the little motifs here at the top. It's fun. Going along pretty well. So that is Cat Lovers. All this back together. Okay. One down. This next one is also... Did I have this started? I don't... If I did have this started, it only had a few stitches in it. I've talked about this piece like since my first video. I consider it my oldest whip, even though I just started it again. This is a pattern called Sleeping Beauties by Artisy. It's adapted from artwork by Jonas Nelson. This is what the pattern looks like. I started this whenever I first started cross-stitching, probably... I started cross-stitching in 2012, so I probably started this in like 2013 or so. And I was working from the middle, doing the middle page, and I got down to the elf girl, and her skin was green, and the colors were like way off. So I contacted Artisy years later when I finally figured out that they had a Facebook page. I posted a picture of the progress that I had because I just kind of put it down, didn't touch it again, but I couldn't bring myself to throw it away. So I just asked them, you know, is this worth continuing at this point? Like, has anyone stitched it? Can you show me a picture? Does it get better than this? And Tarina Clark, you've heard this, I've talked about this before. Tarina Clark gave me a complimentary copy of the pattern again that they used with their new software, which fixed a bunch of the color issues that they used to have in the past. So I've been holding on to this pattern for a while, And like I said, I consider it my oldest WIP because I only got like 1 page done on it, and I really do like it and wanted to finish it, but I ended up just completely scrapping that old piece and starting over again. So last weekend I really kind of sat down and actually started working on this. I started it a while ago, but just put a few stitches in it to get kind of a starting point. So this is that same page that I worked on before, and this is how far I got. So you can see that is just the top of the dragon's wing there with his talon or whatever sticking out. And then as I work myself down this page, her hip is going to show up here, and then we will be able to see how those colors compare. I did find an old picture that I had of the other piece that I was doing, and I posted it on Instagram in kind of a side-by-side here. So I'll post it here as well so you guys can see the difference in colors from then to now. And see, it's a pretty significant change. So I don't know what software they were using and what software they switched to, but I think they made the right choice. So that is that one. This is gonna get all jumbled. Okay. The next one, I don't have any idea where this was the last time I showed it to you. This is Academy of the Magic Arts by the Floss Box. It's my Harry Potter piece. Let me show you. It looks like this. I haven't really worked on this year. This is what I have. So I guess I did work on it a while back. I finished the castle and like this mountain range in the background and this kind of whole middle piece here. And then just the past couple of days I did these owls on either side. But I haven't really been moving with this one. I wanted to finish up Siesta with the kitties. I have this tendency, I don't have a rotation or anything like that. I just kind of work on what I want to work on. And if I don't want to work on anything, I don't work on anything. Because it's a hobby and I don't want it to feel like work. So I just do what I want. But I have a tendency, even though I have 10 or 12 or so projects kind of kitted up and going at the same time, once I finish one, I'll pick up another one, and then if I'm really enjoying it, I'll just work on it until it's finished. That's what happened with Siesta with the Kitty. I had it started, and like I wasn't really feeling it, and I was doing like a little bit here and there, but then once I finished up Old Nantucket, I was like, hey, I really know what I want to do as far as converting these cats and everything like that, and then I finished it up within a few weeks. So I just get moving on stuff. So I think, I don't know where to go on this next. I spend a ridiculous amount of time after I finished a section of a pattern just staring at the pattern and trying to figure out where I want to go next. Probably also one of the reasons that I'm quite slow whenever I stitch. So I don't know if I want to move up and do those clouds and start on the gate and then work my way down, but I really want to, I'm going to make some alterations to Harry and Ron there because I think they look kind of weird. So I don't know if I want to get the top finished and then move my way down and just, you know, have time to focus on that, or if I want to get that hammered out first. I don't know. We'll see. Wherever the wind takes me. So that is that one. And I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm stitching these things on. I have it all. I got the X-Stitch app and the X-Stitch Plus. That's really hard to say. X-Stitch Plus app in my phone. I spent like a whole entire day logging all of my charts and threads and things like that. So I have all of this information, and I don't want to. I'm not going to put it in the video, is what I'm saying. If you have a question about what I used, feel free to leave me a comment, and I will absolutely look it up and get back to you. Like I said, I get really in my head about things, and if I worried about writing down every single little thing and planning out this video before I hit the button, it would never happen. It barely happens now. So leave me a comment if you have a question. Happy to get back to you. That's all I got. Okay. Starting to get into bags. I forget what is in here. Okay, so this is just the supplies. This one's on a big old scroll frame. This is new since we last talked as well. I could not nail down the project that I wanted to do for my mom. I was set on Rose of Sharon, but it just, like, I have fun working on it. It's an okay project. I don't have a problem with it at all. It just wasn't screaming her name. And I ended up finding this pattern. This is called Once Upon a Time. It's by Butternut Road. I have no idea what year it came out, but it's really cool. There's a castle in the background. You've got kind of that medieval lady there with the dove. So this one, I was like, that is the one. That is the project that I've been looking for. Because, I mean, my mom, like, reads fantasy and stuff like that. Like, you know, fairy tales are just, it's sort of, everyone in my family enjoys a good fairy tale. And I just wanted something, like, simple and elegant, nothing too cartoony-ish, like, I don't know, I was just having trouble. But that is the one I decided on, and I've gotten semi-far on it. I haven't shown you guys these. One day I was bored. So I decided to stitch up these giant bags, just I could stick my whole scroll frame in. They are not sewn well, but they are functional. I've just put a zipper in the end of it here, and honestly, it's just to keep the cat hair off of them. Because they sit, and I don't do anything with them, so I was using pillowcases, but they weren't quite long enough, so I just was like, I have extra fabric, I will just make this happen. So this is how far I am on this one. I started in the middle. I'll put it over here. I don't need to put anything behind it. So I started with like her sleeve there, and then it goes as she's holding like a bouquet of flowers. This is the first time I've ever done 1/1 stitching, and I was just going to do her skin 1/1, but then I was like, well, listen, if her skin's 1/1, the feathers on that bird need to be 1/1. Because feathers are super delicate, as is skin, so it would look weird to me if her skin was 1/1 and then the bird wasn't, for whatever reason. So I spent like a whole day stitching this little dove 1/1, and I think he turned out really awesome. But I had to rip him out a few times because I miscounted. But he's done now. And then, again, this is one of those things where I was like, ooh, I finished that part. Now where do I go? Do I continue to do the lady over here? Or I could go over here and then start to do the big, like, oval background with the castle in it. I'm not sure. I don't know where I want to go with that. But that's where I am on that one. That being said, my Rose of Sharon piece has kind of stalled out because I decided to do this one instead. So I'm just going to do her for me one day. She's just kind of chilling out right now. I'm going to have project boxes just like sitting out here with no labels on them whenever I'm done with this and have to figure out where they go. Alright, this is another one I've barely started on. Gotta wait. So this is a Game of Thrones piece. I feel like I'm just gonna wait for the last season of Game of Thrones to come out, and then I'll pull this one out and start stitching on it again. I don't have a physical picture of this because I have the digital pattern that I'm working from, but I will put a picture of it up for you of what it's gonna look like. And let me just double check my app here real quick. Don't freeze. Don't freeze on me. Journal. Started. Okay, so this is House Targaryen. It is by... Who you buy? Lolita Made on Etsy. She's done a bunch of the different house banners. I think I want to do Targaryen and Stark. Both on black. But I have like a bunch of them because they came in a set. So I have not gotten very far on this at all. I'm just stitching it all in one color. It is the variegated DMC 115, I think. It's the red one. And I just started in the middle of the pattern and I'm working my way down. So I'll show you my cool needle. This is the top of like that oval. Well, it's a circle, it's not an oval. The circle with the dragons inside of it. And I'm weird with variegated floss. I don't like the stripiness of it. So I'm attempting... See, I don't know what I'm attempting. I don't want it to look stripy. So I might just do it... I forget what they call it. When instead of doing it one cross at a time like you're supposed to do to get the maximum effect of your variegation out of it, you can just do words. You stitch, and then you stitch back along the lines. Is that continental? I think so. And then the other type is European. European's 1X at a time, and then continental is when you do all one leg and then come back the other way. So I stitch continental, if I've got that term correctly, normally. So I might just continue doing that. I can't remember how I started this one. I also, like, I gotta start at the top and then work my way down and then back around for the circle. I don't know. I just don't want it to look stripy. How do I get it to not look stripy? I just want it to look cool. Help me. Okay, so that's that one. This next one I'm not gonna, well, I'll talk about it, but there's nothing. It basically shouldn't even be in my whip pile because I did start it and put like 5 stitches in it and then I tore them out because, why did I tear them out? Okay, hold on, back it up. This is the Little Dragon by Artisy. It's a full coverage, it's huge, it's pretty, I like it. We're gonna do it. All the floss is here. It's ready to go. It is on the big quantum frame, scroll frame that I have, which I also made a sleeve for. Huh? Pretty good. Like I said, don't look too closely, but it serves its purpose. So the fabric that I got for this is the correct size, but the way the quantums work, you have to roll the fabric up onto that like dowel rod, and it just like eats a lot of that excess fabric. And I don't like working high up on a piece. Like, it strains my arms to have to reach up and work. I like whenever I'm stitching along the bottom of the frame or whatever. So I needed a little extra fabric to work with at the top and at the bottom, and I just had some scrap Aida laying around that was in kind of like longer pieces. So I grabbed some of that and sewed it onto like the top of here so I could roll the Aida up in here and then still have my fabric kind of down in a more workable area. It's still near the top, but it is what it is. It's big, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it. But this is on that Zweigart, I think it's Easy Count. And those little blue marks are where the piece needs to start. So I had like a few stitches in it before, and I think maybe I just rolled it up on the thing wrong and I was too lazy to take it off and roll it the other way, so I just pulled the stitches out and I was like, fine, I'll start from here instead. That's probably what happened. So like I said, this isn't even technically a whip. I haven't... Sorry, that horn threw me off track. There's no stitches in it. It's not a whip. Okay. Next one. This is a kit. This is my Riolis kit called Furry Friends. Just trust me on that because it's in Russian, but I looked it up and this is called Furry Friends. Sorry, it's still in the... There we go. If you're looking for it, if you just type in this kit number right here, it'll come right up. I just got this at Hobby Lobby. He's so cute. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have no problem with the Riolis like wool threads that they have in here. I actually kind of like them. They're different. They have like a cool texture. I also really like kits. We'll get into that later. I don't know. I feel like sometimes kits get a bad rep, but everything's there. It's so easy. This is how far I am on this. Haven't made a ton of progress, but at least you know you can see that it's a cat now, and there's actually, you can see 2 cats. Can you see the 2 cats? I'll give you a second. So obviously, this is the first little mischievous guy right here. Here's some little face, and then if you move down, boom, there's the other one. So that's an ear, and then those are the fuzzy guy's eyes right there. Yeah, I really like this project. I don't work on it as much as I want to work on it, so I need to get it back out and do some more. There's more stitching up here, but it's pretty, I'm using the 14 count. It's like oatmeal Aida that came with the kit, and it didn't give a lot of margin here from the top. So like the top of this lamp is stitched, and then there's going to be like some fill-in curtain stuff going on there, but it's not worth taking it off of the Q-snap for that. Okay. So that's that one. This is Rose of Sharon, I believe. And like I said, she's kind of just hanging out in this bag until further notice. Maybe. I got a little bit farther than last time, so I'm just... Can you see that? I'm just working down on her dress. I'm not doing any color changes. There's a ton of color conversions out there for her, and I like them, but honestly, I think it looks fine. The only, like the yellow is my least favorite color, but these are like buttery pale yellows, not like in-your-face Crayola yellow, so I appreciate that, and the blue just contrasts really well with it. I was gonna do a conversion of her hair to a brunette, but that was when I was doing it for my mom, just because we all have brown and red hair, so I thought I'd just make it a little more relevant. But now that I'm doing it for me, I don't know. I might just leave her as a blonde. You probably... Do you know what that looks like? Do you want to see a picture of what that's supposed to look like? I skipped that part. Hold up, hold up. There. There you go. So I am just doing in the center, and I'm only like down there, so there's a whole lot of skirt to do. I think just to break up the monotony of the skirt a little bit, I'm going to jump over and do some of these like flowers and then try and get myself over to this arch, because that arch is not filled in. So like this is going to be a lot of work up here, but just working those columns up and just trying to get a little bit more of that going. So maybe I can jump back and forth between doing some dress, doing some arch. You know the drill. I hope this video is making sense, because no idea. I have to watch it back and see how much crazy stuff I didn't say. This is the Little Mermaid Sal from Brooks Books. I dyed this fabric myself. I am undecided. Okay, so she's released 3 parts already. She's released The Little Mermaid, King Triton, and The Grandmother. Don't be confused. This is from the book, not the Disney adaptation. So there, it's a grandmother. And then there's going to be a bunch of the sisters. And then, is there going to be a Prince Eric block? He's not really like under the sea. I don't know. I don't know who all the characters who are coming out. I think it's in here somewhere. But I've only started on the Little Mermaid, and I have a full piece of fabric that's like skinny and tall, so I could fit everybody on there. I just don't know if I want to at this point. Like, I don't know if I want to stitch all those sisters, because who are they to me? I guess I'll have to see what they look like when they come out. But right now I've got the Little Mermaid going at the top center of the fabric, so I also feel unprepared. Let's see. I'll put a picture up. This is what Little Mermaid looks like. Okay. And I haven't gotten far at all, because mostly I didn't have the colors for this. I just wanted to get it started, and then I picked up everything except there is a lot of Kreinik that goes in here, and I don't have any of them. Like, I pretty much only have gold Kreinik in my stash, so I'd have to go and buy all of them, and they're different for each block. Hi, Nubis. One moment, please. Alright, so don't drink my coffee. She looks super creepy, actually. So I just got that wave done at the top, and then those are her arms going out, and a little fishy. But there's Kreinik all mixed in with this, and I don't know, it's just not my focus out of all the things that I'm working on. It's just one of those. So I'm just going to wait and see how the pattern develops when it comes out. I've decided that I'm really, like, I'm not a Sal stitcher. That's actually how I got back into stitching, because I was doing it in 2012, and then I had some stuff going, but nothing really, you know, to write home about. And the Frosted Pumpkin Storytime sampler, whatever that one is, came out. And I loved every single one of those blocks as they came out, and I did it as it was meant to be stitched, you know, one by one. It's a surprise at the beginning of the month, and then you just do it. But now that I have so many different projects that I'm working on, I don't want to be working on something that I think is just okay. Especially because I don't stitch that fast, so I want to make use of the time that I have. So I really like the Little Mermaid block. King Triton's okay. I'm much more versed in the Disney adaptation, so maybe I'll just do the characters that are present from the movie, even though that's not really the intention of the Sal. But whatever, we'll see. We'll see as it kind of goes forward here. What else do I want to talk about? I want to talk about this. You don't know what this is, because I designed and made it. If you follow me on Instagram, you might know what this is. So at my last job, well, my last job, I managed a makerspace at a public library, and we had a 3D printer there. So I kind of have a rudimentary, you know, basic knowledge of 3D printer design and stuff and such. Okay? So I have a needlework system for stand. I have the floor stand, and I have the lap stand, and there are like different frame pieces that you can put on it. So I have the scroll frame, which I don't really use, and then I have the Q-snap frame, which is great, but I just, like, you have to unscrew things and take the Q-snap frame on and off of it and reposition it for whichever project you're working on. And I'm just lazy, and if I want to start stitching, I just want to do it kind of immediately, because I think too much about things, and I'm like, ugh, I have to unscrew the screw. I don't want to do that. So I was like, how can I adapt my frame to make it, you know, fit the stitching needs that I have? And my brother, I don't work there anymore, obviously, but my brother got a 3D printer for Christmas. So I designed a piece that would fit my frame. I'll just show you. It's not making sense if I try and describe it. So this is the lap stand part. And then this whole piece comes off, and you can put this on the floor stand or just attach it via knob to the lap stand. So this arm piece had this whole different contraption in it that affixed here, and it was rotatable, and you could clamp your Q-snap frame in there, and I just took that whole mess of junk out of here. So this is what I was left with. It's just a thin arm with a big hole in the middle of it. So I designed, oh, and also this is adjustable from this long to this narrow. So it doesn't quite fit like an 11 by 11 Q-snap on it, which is primarily what I use, so still a work in progress. But what I designed for it was just a little hook, so I could make it more into like those lap frames that just have those little dowel rods on them, and you can set any sort of frame you want on top of them and like switch them out, and you're just using it as a like a cradle rest almost, instead of actually like attaching it and having like a flippable frame, whatever. So essentially it's just a hook like this. So I made it pretty wide here because those Omnic rods are pretty thick. And you just affix this to the end of that arm. So that big hole in the middle there, this just slides right in there. You've got your hook. It just comes up a little bit here to keep the frame from like slipping off like that. And I just made it kind of ergonomic there. And then in order to hold it on the frame so it doesn't just fall off the side, I just made this very thin little piece. These are just kind of grippy so you can get your fingers on there and get some tension on it. So I just made this little piece that sits in these little grooves here, and I can't do it. And then it just slides over top of here and kind of locks it. I don't do this camera thing well. In place. There. So let me show you how it actually goes on here. The other one's already there. But you can see what I'm doing. So this little guy with the hole on it just sticks right in there. Right? So the hole goes through there. And then you take this, and there's grooves on either side. And I can't see what I'm doing. And you just push that right down on there so it doesn't come off. And there's one on the other side as well. So it's basically just created this little stand like this that's a hook. So you can kind of spread it out to its widest width here, and then take one of these big old scroll frames and just rest it on top of there. Now, this one, it's a little bit taller than the frame itself, but like I said, I primarily like working at the bottom of the piece, so I can just shift it wherever I need it and start stitching on it. And this is good for a tabletop as well, like you don't have to use it as a lap stand, so that just made it a little easier, a little more simplistic and faster for me. The only thing that could use a little modification on it, like I said, it doesn't quite fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap, so I still use those kind of in hand. I actually use my knee to like prop it on. It's a little pointy, like the sides here are kind of pokey, and you can use like fine grit sandpaper and stuff like that on the plastic. So I might need to do some of that, or at least, I don't know, get some Sugru, if you know what that is, and kind of put some bumpers on the end here. It's not bad, it's just whenever you're coming back up from the bottom of your fabric or like reaching under for whatever reason, sometimes it just kind of scrapes me. But that was super cool. Glad my brother got a 3D printer so I could play around with that. What else? 48 minutes. Okay. I like kits. I said that before. I like kits. So we're gonna do a little stash showing, just so I can show you all the kits I got, because I got some new ones. And a lot of the kits that I'm drawn to, I feel like are like older ones, which is interesting. But I'm just gonna show you, I'm just gonna flash you some stash, okay? Who doesn't like a little stash flash? I just put them in these. I know a lot of people use these as project bags, but kits come in those like cellophane plastic bags, and they just drive me crazy. So I have each one of these in one of these bags. I might use it as a project bag when I finally get to stitching these kits, but I'm not sure. I'm undecided. It's just an organizational thing for me at this point. This kit. Platinum Collection. Again, this is called Once Upon a Time as well, and it's a Janlin kit. I got this off of eBay from what they said. I don't know. I don't know what kind of brain working. I don't know how truthful they are on eBay when they're trying to sell their kits. They said that this one's rather rare, and I assume that just means it's probably old, like from the 80s or something, and it's hard to find. But it's so pretty. It's gonna take forever, but that's okay. Okay, Once Upon a Time, Janlin, good. Moving on. And you know how kits, like, they're not like 8.5 by 11. Sometimes you get the really tall ones. I just got these off of Amazon, and I think I got like the legal sized or whatever. Every kit I had fit perfectly in here. This one is Lindy Stitch's fault. Did I not tell you? Just throw a bunch of cats on something, and I'm like, yep, I'm there. So this is a Sunset kit called the James Younger Gang. I think this has a different name and was released under a different brand than Sunset, but it's the same kit. Watch Lindy Stitch's video. She might have more information about that, but it was a little confusing when I was searching. They're kitty cowboys. Come on. All good things. I'm looking for the man who shot my paw. Okay. I have more. Not even close to done yet. Okay, this one. I need somebody to tell me what to do with this one. This is called the Accolade. It's a Bucilla kit. Bucilla? I don't know. Doesn't matter. There's a pretty famous tapestry. I'm sure you've all seen it. The problem that I have with this pattern is this background part. I feel like they just got lazy. Cat hair. And they just filled it in with these weird, let me see, these weird, like, back stitches or something like that. And I really like the lady and the knight, and, like, these people over here are fine, I guess. But mostly I just really like the lady and the knight, but I hate that background. And now it's a kit, so it just came with Ada. And you have to, like, stitch all the, like, the gray of the steps is only partially stitched on the pattern. Like, this lighter color here, that's just the Ada. And then you stitch the darker color here. But, I mean, that would be an easy fix. I could just pick, like, a random color and, like, stitch the stones. Do the knight, do the lady, do the throne. And then maybe, like, have just, like, a hand-dyed fabric in the background and do away with those guys. I don't know what to do. I don't want that curtain thing there. But, like, this is like an outdoor scene. Do you see behind these guys? It's like the curtain cuts off, and then there's, like, the stonework back here. So if I did a hand-dyed fabric and then stitched these guys too, I mean, I guess that would be fine. They would just be inside. What do you think? Help me. Help me. I really like every other part of it. It's just that background part, and I am not prepared to, like, design my own fancy curtain. So, let me know what to do. I know that there are different versions of this, but this is the one I have, and I don't want to spend more money if I already have this one. And like I said, I really like the stitching, like the detail on her, and like she's got little beads on her crown that came with the kit. Like, I like every part of it except for that curtain. And, you know, I could do with or without these guys. Like, they're not what I've came for. So, let me know what you think on that one. What are you? Oh, okay. So this one is Kingdom of Books. And I bought it on, what's that weird website called? AliExpress. You know, people buy all the diamond paintings on there. And I bought it on there, and I'm not entirely certain if this was like a legal transaction or if this person, I don't know, you tell me. If anybody has the original, I know that this is not the packaging that comes from like the Russian, what's it called? Like Make Your Own Hands is the original like designer, but I bought it from this place, Amy Shop. And instead of being called Kingdom of Books, it's called World of Book. Make Your Own Hands was nowhere on it except for the description that I purchased it under. And it came, like, printed like this. Let me see. I don't know. So I don't know what the original chart looks like, obviously, because I don't have it. But these are all just, like, individual pages of the chart. It's not like a fold-out thing or anything like that. And, like, the chart looks good. It's, like, readable. I don't know. It's just weird. Because it didn't come... Like, the actual designer's stuff is nowhere on it. Do you know what I mean? But it came as a kit. And I have all the threads and everything like that. It's got like DMC color cards. Like this is how the threads came. Obviously that's only 3 of them. That's not all the threads. So I don't know. If you know, let me know. It just seemed a bit odd when it finally came in the mail and I was like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. We got more. Who likes kits? I like kits. My favorite thing about kits is that if I'm feeling particularly lazy, kitting up a project, I think I've said this before, takes a lot of brain power for me, and kits are already done for you. So I just have to, sometimes I'll use the Ada. I'm going to save that one. Sometimes I'll use the Ada that came in the kit. Like on the Riolis cats, I'm using the Ada that came in the kit. But on other ones, like the James Younger gang, I have a different piece of fabric for that. So I just need to find the fabric, throw it in there. Don't worry, I'll show you these. And then it's ready to go. Like, find the center, start stitching. I heard a weird noise. I think it's just because I have the windows open and people are outside. Okay, this kit is Red Mermaid by RTO. I got this because, what is her name? What is her name? What is her name? Brain. I'll get it. Anyway, about this, I got the linen, the same linen that she got. She does the sales. She's in the theater. You know who I'm talking about. Why can't I remember her name? She has the cats and makes the dragons. Her name is... I like see her Instagram posts every single freaking day. Why? I'm gonna feel really stupid when I finally look this up. Blimey Cat. It's okay. That's all I can remember. She made me buy that. She didn't make me, but she had it, and then I needed it. That was a struggle. This is Frederick the Literate from Dimensions. Cats and books, people. Cats and books. These are real? I like the names of these books. Let me just read a few to you because they're cat puns and it's funny. Bye Bye Birdie. What does that say? Puss in Boots, obviously. The Three Mouseketeers. Corporate Fat Cats, Rat Hole, Canterbury Tales, The Giant Rodent, Tale of Two Kitties, 3... Does that say 3 winged mice? 3... I'll have to look further into that one. Catalog of hairballs. Okay, so that's gonna happen. Yep. Such clever designers. I think that one, is that one based off a painting? Could be. You know how I like cats and books? I also like baby cats and books. What's this called? Cat's Dream. RTO. No, I won't get sick of stitching cats and books. I know I have many kits and patterns with cats and books. Once I finish one cat book pattern, I will start another cat book pattern. And keep them going forever and ever until I meet my demise. This is a weird booklet one. This is another realist kit. It's a ship. I like boats and pirates and things. It's a simple thing. I think it was on sale at Hobby Lobby and it was a ship, so I had to take it home with me. You know how it is. I don't know the actual name for this one, but again, it's got the number there at the top. 479. Okay. And then these next ones are all recent purchases because I saw, you guys should see the pile of junk that is just over here because I'm just tossing everything on the floor. I was on Instagram and it was a Russian, I don't know if they were a designer because I don't speak Russian, or just a Russian cross-stitcher, and I think it just popped up in the cross-stitchers of Instagram tag that I follow, but there was a company called The Golden Fleece that is Russian, and they have some cool stuff. So what made me go there is this kit right here. And it's another ship. Oh, I just put the whole plastic thing inside of here. That's how new it is, because I'm lazy. Okay, so this is the one that I saw on that post, called Distant Shores, and it is a ship at night in the waves, right? It's cool. You know what makes it cooler? It's stitched with glow-in-the-dark threads. Oh, can you see it? And that's what it looks like if you turn off the lights. I want a glow-in-the-dark ship in my room when I turn off the lights. Yeah. So I got this. I got 4 kits from them total. 2 I found on eBay that were in the States, so they shipped pretty quickly. The other 2 I had to buy from a seller on Etsy, and they came directly from Russia, and I was slightly concerned because there was a big warning on the page that said that, you know, customs charges may apply, but that's the only place I could find them, and I really wanted them. And they came within a few weeks, no custom charges. I think casket for... Let me just tell you, in case you want to buy things and you are also worried about customs charges. So I got these from Casket for Needlework. That's the shop on Etsy. Yeah, it says additional duties and taxes may apply, like right on the thing whenever you purchase it. I live in Pennsylvania. I didn't have to pay anything extra. Okay, these next 3 I bought because they came in a series, and they're animals, and they're steampunk animals, and you get to put watch gears and stuff on them, and it's good. here's the first one. That is a steampunk husky. This is called, yes. Okay, it's the Dream Hunters series, but this specific design is called Time Guardian. And it comes, so like a lot of this stuff is stitched, but the kit comes with all of these little pieces to affix it to. Obviously, I'm just going to get some sort of kick-ass hand-dyed fabric and not stitch like all of these clouds and things here, because that's just a waste of time, in my opinion. So that one is number 1. The second in the series is Key of Time. Steampunk owl. Again, it comes with all of those charms that you can affix to it there. And then the third in the series, and the final kit that I have, excluding like a tiny mill hill kit and some Christmas ornaments that I did not bring over here. It was nice. This one is called Master of Time. He's my favorite. My absolute favorite part of this whole thing is that he's got little suit buttons. Like those are actual buttons that come in the kit. You can see them, they're right there. It's gonna be so good. I'm just gonna start like a steampunk wall. You guys know of any cool steampunk patterns? I have the Eye of the Magpie, Kate Frederick, Pocket Watch Pixie. That will also go there. I got plans. Those are all my kits. I like kits. I don't stitch as many, like, I like buying kits. Let's put it that way. I also like buying things on Etsy, but that's a video for another day because we're already over an hour long here, and I don't know how interesting this video was. So if you made it to an hour and 6 minutes, congratulations. I lied. We're going to keep going. I have one more thing I want to show you. I like to collect scissors. These are only some of them. The rest of them are in the project bags that I just threw on the floor that I'm probably going to pick back up and show you. So these are flower frogs that I found on eBay, and they are not your standard flower frog. I was looking for those just little glass ones that people pick up in the thrift store all the time, and I could never actually find one. And I have a ton of scissors, so I like to put them out and like display them in some manner. But I found these on Etsy. Let me pull these scissors out of here. So these ones are actually in 2 pieces. You got your base here and then the little metal top, like this. Now when I put my scissors in here, they just all fell sideways because there was nothing to actually stick in there. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and I have no idea what these things are called, but I just found these little like glittery crystal things. They come in all different colors. I just got the one that kind of blended in here, and I just filled that up with these little crystals. Then the top goes on, and then when you need to shove your scissors in there, the tip of the scissors just gets embedded in the little crystals and it holds them upright. So this one is some sort of Indian etched and painted flower frog. I don't know. These ones are more interesting to me anyway. They more match my aesthetic than like those glass ones or the green ones. I think those ones are cool. The ones that I really like are the ones that are like a bowl. I don't know if those are even flower frogs. They're like a bowl, and then they have the holes all the way around the outside. Couldn't find one of those either, but I really like these ones. And then this one sort of looks like, I don't know, the Holy Grail. So this one is, again, it's just got an etched pattern on it here, and then the top part comes off. I filled this one with those little crystals as well. So your scissors just stick right in. So you want to see my scissors? Listen, if you're one of those people who doesn't like haul videos, you should have left like half hour ago. But, okay. So, I'm gonna get all my scissors out of these bags. Pause the video while I do that, because I feel like that would be an annoying thing to watch me go back through all of these things. I'm going to pile them all up here, and then I'm going to show them to you, because I like collecting scissors. Okay? Okay. See you in a bit. I'm back. I think I got them all. If not, you know, it's fine. Okay. I'll just start with the ones that need to go back in their bags. I have these ones. I feel like I'm in a makeup video. They're like green and speckled. And I also like to put scissors in projects that they match. So this weird green one is in the Little Mermaid one. And I have these ones, which are kitties. So that's in my Realist cat pattern. So sometimes I just keep them in these little like plastic sleeves that they come in. They make super cute like leather holders you can put them in, but they're expensive. That one's there. And then sometimes I just use these little like knitting needle tip things, so I can just throw them right in my bag without having to worry about them punching through the fabric or anything like that. So I have these ones. These are in my Once Upon a Time one that I'm doing for my mom. These ones are in, it's a unicorn, in my dragon whip from Artisy. These ones are in my Harry Potter whip. They're owls. Some of them are longer than others. Some of them are like these little short guys. I love them all. I don't know what it is about scissors. Like, I like collecting needle minders. I like collecting scissors more. Maybe because it's harder to find cool ones. That could be it. These ones I actually got for free. They're just red. So these are in my House Targaryen project. These ones I got for free from, you remember in that other video I did, I was saying how my scroll rod frame was all messed up and I had to send back to the needlework system for people. And then they had to send me the fixed one. Well, when they sent me the fixed one, they also sent me a free pair of scissors. And they come in this little like leather sleeve thing, so that was cool. Very nice of them. These ones were a present over Christmas. They've just got like a cool little design on them. They're very lightweight. I really like them. I don't know where they came from. Somewhere on Etsy, probably. I have the standard golden stork, because everyone needs those. I also have the not standard flower stork, which are much bigger than these ones. But still cool. Also a gift. Then I have these ones, which you could kill a person with. They are very sharp. I got some butterflies. I got snakes. These are just normal little ones, but they're kind of squat, so they fit really well in those plastic project boxes. So these were in with the siesta with the kitty before I finished it. They're a good size. And I think you can buy those at like Joann's or Michael's or whatever. I don't know what the actual design, these are the ones that I got with the DMC book, because they were just a couple of bucks, and then instead of paying for shipping, I could just get more scissors. They kind of look Egyptian-y. I don't know. They're DMC something. These were also a gift for Christmas. These are, I want to say it's an alpaca. Could be a llama. I think it's an alpaca though. Because these are like custom made scissors by craftywoolfelt.com. And they use alpaca wool for things, right? These ones, unfortunately, do not fit in my flower frog very well because he's got a big old head. So, like this little tip, like they fit, but they don't fit well. And last but not least, these are my Christmas scissors. I got both of these from the same place. I forget where. I bought them on Etsy, but I'm sure you've seen these around before. I've seen other people that have them. So I got the candy cane ones. And these came with little leather sleeves that matched the pattern as well. So that was cool. I don't keep them on here because then they wouldn't fit in my flower frogs. But I've got them for when I need to put them with the project and like throw them into the bags. And then I've got the snowflakes. And that is all my scissors. I love scissors. There's a bunch of other cool ones that I want. Like I've seen guitar ones. I just want all the ones that are like themed. These ones are really cool too. They're so light. They're good. Okay. I think that was all that I wanted to show you. Thank you for random people who have given me a shout out in the last year because you randomly discovered my videos and then also discovered that I just stopped making them every so often. Sorry about that. I'm still in that phase, so I live with other people, right? And they're not here right now, which is why I feel comfortable talking to my computer alone in my room. I don't, like, they sort of know that I record videos, but, like, I'm not, I can't record with other people here. I get too self-conscious about it. And I had a random day off today because I worked the weekend last week, so this is, like, my comp day. And they're not here because they're working because it's a Friday. And I have another random Friday off next month. So hopefully that will be conducive to recording. But like we all work at the same time. So all of our downtime here is the same. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. Videos are a lot of work. And now I have to go through and I have to edit and put in pictures and do things. And then I obsess over it because that's just what I do. And I still like it. I feel like you guys are gonna hate me if I just keep like randomly popping up once a year and being like, hey, remember me? I still do stuff. But whatever. I'll get over it. So I'll see you when I see ya. Like I said, no concrete plans from this girl, you know. So I gotta go. Tuna, say goodbye. Tuna, say goodbye.